Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to review a very cool niche laptop called the King Jim Portabook. Now this thing came out in 2016 and you probably have never heard of it because it only came out in Japan. I believe that the reason why it only came out in Japan is because people in Japan on average prefer smaller laptops than here in the United States. And the unique design of this would only exist in small laptops. And let me show you why. So as you can see, this laptop is so small that it's smaller than an average computer keyboard. But how would you fit a full-size computer keyboard in this? Well, you can, and here's how. This thing transforms just like the original IBM ThinkPad Butterfly, except it's like the modern version of it because it's from 2016. I'm going to turn it on now to demonstrate it. Now while this thing's booting up, I should probably go over the design of it, the specs, the ports, and its upgradability. So let's just start with the design. Obviously, because this came out in Japan, it has a Japanese keyboard. As you can see, it has the different enter key in the United States. The spacebar is really small. It's got some extra buttons that only are on Japanese keyboards. It also has an optical track point for a mouse, which works different from a traditional track point because instead of like a little joystick, it works like a little tiny touchpad. And it also has the 3 buttons just like on a regular track point. Middle one is scrolling. On the back here we have the ports. Another thing that's really strange about it is it charges with micro USB, just like older Android phones. It has VGA, HDMI, USB-A, headphone jack. And on the side here, underneath the keyboard, we can see it has a full-size SD card slot. And those are all the ports. It has a pretty good port selection for how tiny this laptop is. And it's also this cool door that covers the ports. You may be wondering, how did I get this thing? Because it only came out in Japan. Well, I actually bought it on Yahoo Auctions, which is a website that is not in English at all and is not shipped to the United States at all. You have to use third-party sites such as Zen Market to buy things from Yahoo Auctions. You can also get this thing on eBay, but it costs way more on eBay than it does on Yahoo Auctions. Let's log in. Demonstrate using the keyboard and mouse on this thing. Well, first of all, I want to talk about this mechanism. So it kind of looks like it's barely attached to the laptop, but it actually does have mechanical metal joints that rotate. It is not magnetically connected. It is completely attached to the laptop. You cannot lift it off. And it is very sturdy, as you can see. So this optical track point works by swiping it like a touchpad, not moving it like a little joystick as you'd probably expect. Let's do a typing test. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Sphinx of black quartz, judge my voe. Currently have, I think, Kubuntu on it. It came with Windows 10, but since the specs are not really great, I decided that Linux might run faster on it. And I should probably talk about the specs now. So it only has 32 gigabytes of soldered in storage, so really not much. You really want to make use of that SD card if you want more storage. It only has 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is also not upgradable, and it uses an Intel Atom CPU. I'll list right here what exactly that is. So yeah, you're not going to be doing any gaming on this, but it's mostly just a note-taking machine. And let's be honest, you're not going to be buying this thing for the specs. You're going to be buying this thing because of the really cool keyboard.